Bhagyashree Ambore, Department of CSE, Cambridge Institute of Technology. Today I will be teaching what is the strings, when to use the strings, how to declare, how to initialize, and how to read and display the strings. So we'll start with a definition of a string. What is the string? Character arrays and strings. A string is a sequence of character that is treated as a single data item. Consider in this example, I have written man is obviously made to think in a double quote. The meaning is man is obviously made to think is completely treated as one single data item. And whatever I have written has been enclosed in a double quote. So what is a string? Group of characters enclosed between double quotation marks is called a string constant. Once again, anything enclosed between double quotation marks is known as string constant. We are not considering this double quotes here. We are not including this double quote. Anything written inside the double quote is a string constant. Now, how to declare this string constant? In C, we don't have any data type called string. In C doesn't support any data type by name string. So for string purpose or character purpose, we have a data type char. So whenever you want to declare a string, then you have to use the data type char, that is char data type. Now how to declare this? It's very simple. First you have to use char data type, then name of the string and how many characters are there in the string. Now what is this size? This size, I'm talking about this size determines the number of characters in the string name. For example, if I'll take my name, so if it is Bhagyashree, then I have to count how many characters are there in my name and give that as the size. That is the meaning of size. Now consider this example. I have done two declarations. One is character city of 10. What is the meaning of this? City can have up to 10 characters. And I have made one more declaration here, character name of 30. A name variable can hold up to 30 characters. How? How they are going to hold this 30 characters like this. When I'll make a declaration, this is the syntax. Data type is always character. Name of the string, any valid variable name you can use. And the size, count the number of characters. What exactly this size? Now consider this example, character data type. City is the name of the character array and 10. What is the meaning? 10 characters it can hold. When I'll make a declaration of like this, city 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So total 10 locations are created. Total 10 locations are created. Values are blank. Values are blank. The syntax is we have to use character data type, name of the valid name, variable name, and the size. Now I said 10, then there are 10 locations like this created. How to refer this? City of 0. How to refer this? City of 1. How to refer this? City of 2. Like that it goes till the city of 9. Always like a one-dimensional array, always the subscript starts with 0 and maximum size minus 1. So because we are starting with 0, obviously it will end with 9. Total 10 locations have been created. Each location can hold only one character. That is the meaning of declaration. Now we'll see how to assign the values. 10 locations are there. Fine. You have to fill the values in this 10 location. How to fill? Now there are two ways of filling this. There are two ways of filling these values. First way is at compile time. Another one is at runtime. Now we'll see declaring and initializing a string variables. The first one is initialization with string constant. Now what I'll do the declaration because it's an initialization. That means while declaring itself, I'm filling these locations. While declaring itself, I'm filling this location with a string constant New York. Now what will happen? You said how many characters are there? 9. So 9 locations will be created. After that, what you said? NEW space YORK. So NEW space YORK. Always whenever you are using a string constant, compiler automatically marks with a end. End is marked with a null character. What is the meaning of null character? Without this, your string will never end. Without this, your string will never end. So each string, either it is a character or it is a character array constant, or it is a string constant. What you have to use? Null. If you are using a string constant, then compiler automatically fixes this null at the end of a string by when it encounters this matching pair of double quote, automatically it marks this null at the end. Now second method we'll see. Initialization with character constant. This is complete string I have given as a string constant. Now I have mentioning character by character. What is the difference to this and this? We'll see first the declaration. Character city of 9. So there is no any difference between declaration. Now I'm giving the character by character. So first I'll start with N, E, W, space, Y, O, R, K. Everything will be enclosed in single quotation. N is enclosed in single, E is enclosed in single, space is also enclosed in a single quotation. Everything, all the character by character I have given. Fine. In this case, we have to tell the compiler that, okay, fine, I have done with the initialization. This is my end. And how to mark? Null character. So you have to mention. In case of string constant, compiler automatically will do that when it finds the matching pair of this double quote. When in case of this, compiler will never understand that you are going to end here. So by end must be marked with the null character by the user. So in this case, null has been marked at the end. So null will be placed. So two methods you have understood. We'll go with the third one. That is without giving the size. What I have done here, I have done one small declaration, character, string is a variable name, nothing, no size I have given. In this case, what the compiler does, if it is a character constant, like character by character, if I'm giving, it counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It fills this as 5. The size as 5. Are you understanding? Yes. It is character, string, blank. Size I have not given. In this case, what it does, it counts the number of characters, whatever you have given in this flat braces, and that it will place as the size of the string. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total how many characters are there? 5. It will write here 5 characters. 0 to 4, total 5 characters. Now we'll see partial initialization. What is the meaning of partial? We have told that there are 10 characters, but we have given only a part of it. Partial values we have given. Rest all we have left it blank. We have not given anything. In that case, what will happen? First character, it will count all these character will be placed from this beginning. That is str of 0 will be filled with G, 0, sorry, O, O, D, and the end will be marked with a null, and rest all will be either filled with null or a garbage value. Usually we'll consider everything will be filled with a null. This is the partial initialization. This is partial initialization. I'll just go back, and this case I said once I'll do the declaration, it will create these blank locations. Whatever the size you'll say, those many blank locations will be created. These blank locations can be filled while declaring itself. The first one is initialization with string constant. Second one is character constant. In string constant, we are not writing the null character here. Automatically compiler will write. In this case, we have to write the null character to tell the compiler this is the end of my character array constant. Now, without size, it will count the size and it will fix it. In a partial initialization, whatever the characters you have given will be filled. Later, everything will be filled with a null character. Usually, students will do this mistake. What is the mistake? First one, that is, I have used a character data type, no mistake. String 2 is a valid variable name, again, no mistake. I said here 3 characters. I said here 3 characters, but how many characters I have given? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is wrong. This is where we have a space for 3 characters, but you have given here 4 characters, so it is not a valid declaration. Why it is not valid? 0, 1, 2, 3. If you do the declaration like this, 0, 1, 2, 3. That means 4 characters. Then you have to mention here 5 characters. Remember one thing, whenever you are doing a assignment, count the number of characters plus 1 must be the size. Here 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 1 for null character. Compiler automatically does this, but you have to give a space here for that null character also. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The string size has to be here 5. But how many you have given? Only 3. So this is the first mistake what students will do. Now the major mistake is in integer declaration. How I'll do the declaration in A. Later, wherever I want, I can assign the A value as 5, 10, whatever the integer value I want to assign for A, I can assign. But in case of character, string 3, size I have mentioned 5. That means it can hold only 5 characters. The declaration is perfect. We don't have any problem. When I'll come to this, string 3 equals to good. I cannot do this assignment in strings. We cannot assign, we cannot separate the declaration and assignment. So this is not a valid thing. We cannot assign. For this, we have separate built-in functions. We can use them. Now the third major mistake what students will do is character string 1, 4, I said 4 characters, fine, I have given 3. It is perfect initialization. Then second declaration is also perfect, but I cannot assign one string value to another string. That is not possible in case of strings. To do these two operations, what we have a built-in functions. One is copying one string to another string. Another one is assignment of string. For this, we have a separate functions. Now, we'll see there are operations which can be performed on strings are reading and printing the strings, comparing two strings, copying one string to another string, joining two strings, and searching a part of a string in the main string. Substring we are searching in a main string. These are the main operations which we can perform on our strings. In that, the first one is reading and printing the strings. For reading, that is reading value from the terminal, we are using scanf function, we can use getchar function, we can use getS function. To print it to the terminal, we can use printf function, putchar function, or putS function. We'll start with the reading from the terminal. One by one, we'll see with example. First one, the scanf function. Whenever you want to read a string, you have to use a format specifier as %yes. Well, for integer, we use %t. For character, we use %c, single character. For float, we use %f. Similarly, to read a string is what? A group of characters enclosed in a double quote. So to read anything, group of characters, what we have to use? We have to use %yes. Now, in this case, whenever I'm using %yes, we are not required any ampersand. We are not required any ampersand. If you also know issues, if you are giving it as percentages, it is not required. Why? Because always compiler needs the address. Compiler needs the address. And array name always refers to the starting address of the array. So we anyhow we got the address. Why we want again ampersand here? We don't want. So only first when you are using percentages, we don't want ampersand. I have done a declaration example. Consider here example. It's a character address of 10. What is the meaning here? Address. I'm declaring address. Minimum it can hold up to 10 characters. Now how to read the address? Percentages. I'm not used ampersand here. Just I have given the address. That is the meaning that start filling the characters from this address, from the beginning of this array address. Beginning of this array address. This is a almost one-dimensional array, right? It's a one-dimensional array. Whenever we are using the name of the array, always refers to the starting address of the array. Starting address of the array. So it starts reading character by character and fills everything till the end. So we know it doesn't read any ampersand here. Now we'll see one small example used for the scanf. What we are doing here, we are declared a name of 20 characters. We are asking the user to enter a name and we are reading a name. See, we have not used ampersand and we are printing the name here. how the output looks almost like this. Enter a name. It's a New York I have entered. But what is this? Only name is new. What about this year? That is, whenever you are using the scanf, the values are separated by space. For example, in normal integer declaration using scanf, what you people have done, enter 5 numbers. How the numbers are separated? Numbers are separated by depending on the space, right? For example, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 numbers I want to enter. 10, 20, 30, 40. In between 10 and 20, you left a space. 20 and 30, you left a space. To identify this is one value, to separate this value from the, otherwise what it will become, for example, 10 and 20 together, I'll write it become 1020. To avoid that, what we are doing, we are using a space between two values. Similarly, whenever scanf finds the first white space, it separates them as two different values, In this case also the same thing has happened. New space York. When it finds the space, it thinks that you have entered two values here. It thinks you have entered two values. So it scans only the first value and it reads it in a name and it prints the name. So I hope this is clear. We'll go with the next one, that is reading a string using getchar function. Now in a scanf, what it does, word by word it reads. When it finds the first white space, it separates them, only it reads a word. In this case, we are reading a character string by character, because getchar is a function which has a capacity to read only one character at a time. One character at a time. This function is used to read a single character. We can use this function repeatedly to read multiple characters. For example, how to use this? I have declared one variable character ch equals to getchar. Now in this ch, I can read how many values? Only one. You enter your name. You take any name, you enter that name. New York you enter. But what this does, only n it will read and it will assign it to ch. What about the others? Other thing, if you want to read, then you have to repeatedly use this in a loop. You have to use this statement repeatedly in a loop. One example I have written, we'll see what this example does. Here we want to read a line of text. One variable I have taken character, and for the looping purpose I have taken here I equals to 0. Printf enter the line of text. It is asking me to enter the line of text. I will enter a line of text. Hi, welcome to C. Hi, it is asking me enter a line of text. Hi, welcome to C. I have entered and I have typed here enter key. I have pressed a enter key. The output will be hi, welcome to C. Now how this is possible? Using getchar function, where a getchar function has a capacity to read one character at a time. Only it reads one character. For that we have used a loop called do while loop, and we are checking a condition here while character is not equals to a new line character. When you press a enter key, the new line character is used. When you press up enter key, new line character is used. We are checking whether a user has entered enter key. If yes, then stop. If no, keep on reading the characters. What value we have given? Hi, welcome to C we have given. So first time in a character, it goes and gets a first character. What is the first character? H. It reads H and it assigns that H in line of 0. It assigns it in line of 0. H will be placed. Now we are incrementing I and we are checking while the character H is not equals to new line. Yes, it is not equal. So again it goes, because it's a do while, again it repeats. Again character equals to getchar. Getchar function this time will get the character I and it will put it in line of I, that is in a position of this. Then increments I is here now, while I, that is character, is not equals to new line. No, it is not equals to new line. Again it goes, it reads a white space as a new character and it assigns it to a line of I. It will increment. We are increasing this I just for this purpose, for line purpose. I said 30 characters, this 30 characters, a blank 30 slots will be reserved, but to fill the values in a proper location, we are using this I. First one you fill line of 0, second line of 1, line of 2, line of 3, go keep on putting this like I value will tell you what and where to place. At this position, this value has to be placed. Now, at the end, when it comes across with the enter key, that you have pressed the enter key, what it does, first it reads the enter key. Enter key is nothing but /n. Then it puts it in a line of I. Here I have done that. Line of I, it puts the /n. After that, I will be incremented. I will be at 16th position. Now I'm checking while character, that is /n, is not equals to /n, condition is failed because both are same. So it comes out. Line of I was marking at 16, will be marked with null character, and it prints that line. It prints that line. So that's why we are getting this output here. Hi, welcome to C. First time it reads H, it places certain line of 0, it checks whether we have reached to a new line character, no. Then again it reads this I, it places certain line of 1, increments I and checks the condition. Again it goes, again it gets a new character, that is space. Like this it goes on taking the values. When it finds this new line, that is enter key, it reads that also, it assigns to the new line, line of I, and then it checks the condition, condition fails, it comes out and marks this end of the string and it prints the hi, welcome to C. You just trace this once, definitely you'll understand. Now, reading a string using getS function. In a first case, scanf will help you to read a string word by word. Getchar function is help us to read a string by character. In case of getS will read a complete line of text. What it reads? It allows you to read a complete line of text at once. Now, always whenever you use this getS function, it is there in stdio.h. No need of any header file to be included for getS. Always the compiler will display a message, getS is very dangerous. Why? Because it reads a complete line, including spaces, everything it reads. So what is the general syntax for using a getS function? Character, name of 20. I have made a one declaration of character array, just 20 characters it can read. Normally we are using get a string in name. What is the meaning? Get a string in name. So whatever you have entered at the terminal will be taken in this name. We'll see one example how exactly it does. Character name of 20, the name can hold 20 characters. Enter a name. I have entered here Balaguru, and get a name. Get a string in name. Fine, it is reading the string in name. Then print name is percentages name. So what it does, it prints here Balaguru. If I use here scanf, it prints only Bala because white space will be separates this two string as separate string. But in case of getS, it has a capacity to read till the end of this line, or including white spaces. So complete string has been displayed. Now name is Bala Guru. So Bala space Guru, complete Bala space Guru has been printed on the screen. This is getS, getchar, and scanf. Now we'll see, just glance on what are the differences between a getS function and the scanf function. getS reads characters from the keyboard until a new line character is encountered, and it appends a null character to the string at the end. But in case of scanf, it starts reading the characters from the keyboard and terminates when it in first white spaces seen. When it sees the first white space, it stops reading. It appends null at that point. At that point, it appends null character. It is a type of unformatted input because we are not using any format specifier in case of getS, like percentages, percentage, we are not using anything, so it is unformatted. But scanf is a formatted input because we have to use percentages to read a string. It is used to input only characters and strings. Get is working only with characters and strings. But where in case of scanf is used to input any type of data value, for example, integer, characters, float, or string. So you can use any type of value. To read any type of value, we are using scanf. Now, what is the syntax of getIs? Syntax of getIs is get a string in string. Get a string, and this has to be a string variable, string array variable name. Now, what is the syntax of scanf? Scanf percentage is string. No need of any ampersand here. So an example is getIs name, meaning is get a string in name. Scanf was the same thing, can be written using scanf as scanf percentages name. Here it reads a complete line including the white spaces, but here it reads a characters until it finds a first white space. These are the differences between getIs and scanf. Now we'll see how to print the strings. How to print a string. String can be printed using three functions. One is printf, putchar, and puts function. Now we'll see with the first one, printf percentage s name. If I want to print a variable, name has some value and I want to print it, so it will be very simple, use percentage s and the name, like how we use for integer, float and all, the same way we have used here. One initialization I have done, character name of no size I have given. I have given good girl. In this case, count the number of compiler counts the number of characters. So we will also count the number of characters. 1, 2, 3, 4. There is a space. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what is the size here? 10. Because the last one will be, space will be given for null character. So this declaration you have done, you can use this printf percentages name. Name will print good girl. Now the second one, we can use here the width. 10.4, yes. What is the meaning here? 10 is the total width. Count this number of boxes. That I'm talking about this width. In that, how many characters you want to select? In this width, I want to pick only 4 characters from this name. The meaning is, in a width of 10, pick 4 characters from the string name and print it. Once again, the width of 10, pick 4 characters from this name and print them. Now we'll see this 10 will make these boxes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And 4 characters from the string. How many characters we are picking? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 characters, that is good. Good will be picked and it will be printed here. Instead of printing good girl, you said only to pick 4 characters, so it has taken only 4 characters and it is printed. Now another way of by default is right justified. To get it at the left side, we have to use minus. Minus is known as a flag in C. Minus is a flag. To pull it at the left side, we have to use minus. Rest all is same. In a width of 10, pick 4 characters from this name and print it. Just this minus will pull everything at the left side. So I hope printf is clear. We'll go with the putchar function. I'll take a character ch and I'll assign a value a to ch. Then putchar function, putchar ch. What it will be printed? A will be printed on the screen. What is the meaning this? This function is used repeatedly to output a string of characters stored in an array. Now, where in case of printf, whatever you have assigned, it will print. You can move at the left or right side. And you can pick the number of characters, how many you want to print. But in this case, it has a capacity to print only one character. It has a capacity to print only one character. But to print multiple characters, I have to use this function, this putchar ch repeatedly. Then we can print. For example, character name of 6, I have written here the Paris. Now, how many characters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters are there. I want to print the 5 characters. Now, I'll start a loop from 0, line of I is less than 5, I plus plus. Putchar name of 5. First time it will print name of 0, that is P. Name of 1, that is A. Name of 2, R. Name of 3, I. Name of 4, that is S. It will print. character by character. First time when the loop I value is 0, it prints one I value, that is p. When it increments 1, it prints name of 1, name of 2, name of 3. So character by character it prints until there are characters in this array. So I hope this putchar is also clear. We'll see one example of puts function. This puts function is used to print a complete line. It is an unformatted function. It always takes a input. Always it takes a parameter, one parameter, and that must be a string. That must be a string. We'll see one example how this puts function will work. Just I want to read a name and print a name using puts function. Yes, just I have done a declaration character name of 20. Printf enter a name, get s name. We are reading whatever the user has entered in a get s through this get s function. We are reading it in a name. Puts function. We have used here two different types of puts function. As I said, puts will takes only one parameter, that is a string. What is this? Anything enclosed between double quotes is also known as a string. So puts we have given name is as a one string. So as it is, it prints on the screen in one line. In the next line, it prints the name. What is the name? Whatever the name you have entered here, that name will be printed here. You can, what is the meaning here is two things, two ways I can use this puts function. One by giving a string constant, another by giving the character array here. Either way I can use this puts function. Remember one thing, puts will print this entire thing in one line. Next, if you use again puts function, it will go to a new line and prints it. If I use again puts, again it will go to a new line and use. How many times you'll use puts function? One puts will print in one line. Again another puts will go with a new line. Again you use puts, again it will start with a new line. So that is the main thing about puts. I hope you have understood this. The puts difference between a puts function and the printf function. The only four differences are there. The first two differences, this function, that is puts, prints the value of a string variable and then moves the cursor to the beginning of the next line. As I said, how many puts function you'll use? It starts always printing from the new line. But in case of a printf, it will not do that. It will start printing. You printf 5 times. You print hi, welcome to see. Everything will be printed in one single line. One single line. Wherever it left the space, from that point only it starts printing. So everything will come in one same line. This is unformatted function puts, where printf is a formatted function. We are using a format specifiers. And it is used to output only characters and strings. Puts function is used to only output, it deals with only character and strings. Where in case of printf, we can print integer, float, character, string, any type of data. What is the syntax of puts? Puts always takes a string variable or a string constant. Sorry. Here printf will percentage yes is used to print a string. So you have to give a string character array name here. For example, puts name. Here I want to print the name, then just write puts function and pass this, whatever you want to print, that variable you have to pass. Array name I have passed. In this case, we have to use percentage yes, and then you have to give the same array name here. Here just pass it as a parameter. Here you have to give it as a character array name. So it will print, start with a new line, but it will start in a same line. That is the difference between a puts and a printf function. Now, as a beginning, I said operations performed on a strings. First one is reading and writing operation. Second one is combining the string together, copying one string to another, comparing two strings for their equality, and extracting a portion of a string. These operations are possible. In this first one, I have already cleared. What question is possible from this? So first question is possible is, what is a string? Or define a string and explain how to declare and initialize a string. First question. Second question is, what do you mean by a string? Or define a string, explain how to read and display a string with proper example. Now these are the operations which can be performed in that reading and writing of a strings is done. In my upcoming video, I'll be sharing these 4 operations how we can perform on strings. Thank you.